Hello. Hope everybody's doing fantastic today. So what I do, I started when I was 16, started learning martial arts because I wanted to defend myself, get in great shape. As I continued to teach and learn first, teach later, I started to figure out there's so much more to the health benefits when it comes to doing martial arts. Tai Chi is a martial art. For some reason, people think today that that's like the new buzzword, oh, this is new, Tai Chi, something new. No, it's been around for thousands of years. So what the focus for today is, as everybody keeps coming in and grab a spot somewhere, is to show you a little bit about what Tai Chi is and the benefits of how it can improve your balance. So I am going to be drawing on the board. Hopefully you can all see it. If you have a hard time seeing it, you can ask me to explain it, or you can move closer, whatever works for you. Okay, we good? Some of you might want to stand up and try some of the exercises. Some of you might want to just put it in your memory and see if you can do it later. There's tons of information on the table back there as far as my classes, but also how to prevent falling, how to achieve better balance. So I don't need to keep holding that. Balance is kind of a buzzword these days too. How many different ways can you balance your life? Balance what you eat. You're eating food right now. Eat a balanced diet. Sleep. How you balance your sleep schedule. How you balance between your occupation and your home life. There's many different ways you can balance your life. So when people think of Tai Chi and they say, oh, that's good for balance, they don't always realize that it's multifaceted, multi-benefited. Okay, so I'm going to start writing. Hopefully you see what I can write, even if you're farther back. So the first type of balance we're going to work on is what I call just physical balance. Physical. Draw above this. Did I spell it wrong already? Yeah. Okay, penmanship is not going to be required here. So I get it right. Okay, physical balance. That's how well you can make it across the room without stumbling. Vestibular, the water in your ears, how well that stays hydrated so that you have that equilibrium. Okay, that's physical balance. So we'll go with that. How about postural balance? How well you can stand straight, how well you can sit in a chair. Do you lean like this? How many of you do this? One side, right? Well, one time here and there is probably not going to be a big deal. But if you do this for 20 years of your life, what happens is your posture starts to overcompensate because of that extra weight. So it happens with mothers having a child, and they're holding it on one side. Purses, wallets. I took my key out of my pocket because I don't like them to be weighting me down, especially when I drive, because it makes your hips shift. So now we go over to here. Postural balance. Okay? I just explained that, how well you stand and sit. The last one for today is going to be emotional. Emotional. I spelled it right. I just squished the letters together. How well you process your thoughts, how you balance them. So my understanding from doing this since I was 16, I'm 55 years old now, is if you can balance those three things, you probably have a better handle on balancing your diet, balancing your work and home life, balancing how you talk to people. It's kind of all-inclusive. So balance things however you see fit, but really it comes down to your body, your thought, and your emotions, how you can balance those things with the other facets of your life. So how do we lose balance? Lack of movement or exercise. Why'd it get so quiet? Everybody listening? Lack of movement. So that can be losing your strength. You're just not moving your body. You get lethargic. You're losing flexibility because you're not moving, doing things you normally would have done when you were younger. So lack of movement is very much relative to your physical balance. What about injuries? Like holding that backpack and your shoulder goes out and you got to go to the chiropractor. That can throw you off. So let's call that injury. Lifestyle? Lifestyle, that would be how many times you jump out of a plane to go parachuting because you think that's fun, but on the 20th time you don't land so good and your physical balance gets impaired from it. Injury is almost the same maybe as illness. You have some kind of illness that's happening to your ear, it's going to throw your balance off too. You have an injury to your knee, it's going to make you less likely to be able to stand straight when you need to balance. So let's say illness. Is this microphone thing working out okay? I know I keep moving it away. I spelled it wrong again. Good thing you all know how to spell. So, the next category, postural, what affects that? That backpack, right? So maybe we can call that lifestyle. If you're a college kid, maybe you're going to have that. Don't see too many college kids here. If you have a purse, it's going to affect that. What else affects your posture? Favoring one side. Sitting. Favoring one side when you sit. When I drive, I like to have my arm on the door, like this. So then my spine twists. And then if I have my wallet in my back pocket, now my hip lifts. So I'm getting into this contortionist position. I'm doing it for 20 or 30 years driving. And then I stand up straight, and it hurts. So I go to the doctor. They say, you should go to the chiropractor. Go to the chiropractor. He says, your body's all twisted up out of shape. What you need to do is practice exercises on both sides of your body. Will running do it? Well, exercising both legs and both arms, but it's not really doing much for my spine. If anything, it's kind of shocking it, right? Can I swim? Swim you do on both sides of your body, right? Swimming is very good exercise. Can't find too many things wrong with swimming. How about tennis? Can I do tennis to work on my posture? Probably going to throw me off because you usually favor one side. So we got lifestyle, we have favoring one side. How about if you're just born with one leg a little bit shorter? That can throw your balance off. When you're young, you won't realize it because you're loose and flexible and you can run around and go crazy. When you get older, a couple millimeters, if one leg is longer or shorter, is going to throw your posture off. So if my posture's a little bit off, and then I can walk across the room fine, but what happens when I need to go upstairs or down a step? And you lose your balance. So I think you got the idea with how your posture affects your balance. Am I correct? I'm probably leaving out many other things, but just to kind of keep things moving along, hit the main points, right? Emotional balance. How do we lose our emotional balance? A wife or husband, children, stress, a job, life in general, right? As we get older, we have more and more stress. We live in our head. When you're a child and it's like, what's right in front of me? I'm a child. I want to eat. I want to watch television. I want to go play. I don't care about retiring when I'm a young little whippersnapper, right? So what causes stress in our life? Thinking about the future, which gives us anxiety, fear, uncertainty. How about the past? We get stressed from the past. We're thinking about what we should have done, could have done. Depression, grief, all these things weigh on our head. What's that? Trauma. I still can't hear you. You need the microphone. Trauma. Trauma can be many different things that affects your physical posture, your postural, and your emotional. So what else is stressful is the present. Most people don't want to live in the present. Resistance to what's going on right now. That's why we always put things off. It's like, go clean your room. Tell my son or my daughter, go clean your room. It's like, I don't want to do that now. Well, you want to do it later. So anyway, that's the idea with how your balance can be affected in many different ways. So how does Tai Chi work into this? What the heck is this stuff? Tai Chi is not chai tea. Does anybody know that? Everybody knows what chai tea is, but not everybody knows what Tai Chi is. Okay. So are we good to erase this? Everybody saw it? Have it committed to your memory, right? Time to erase. Should have kept balance on the top there, but I think you get the idea. Is it break time yet? No. everybody done snacking? Okay, because that's a distraction. Your mind's thinking about something in the present, but this is the present too, right? So, to move on to the next thing, what is this Tai Chi stuff? Has anybody done Tai Chi before? Has anybody done Qigong before? Has anybody done Kung Fu before? If you've done Tai Chi, you've done Kung Fu. If you've done Tai Chi, you've done Qigong. It's all the same stuff. So how I visualize this stuff, I'm a very visual person. If I just talk, I fall asleep. If I'm talking and doing something, drawing pictures, keeps me alert and engaged with what I'm doing. And that's why I didn't just do the movie screen thing, because then you just see the picture and then you can just be distracted and think about something else. Are you falling asleep? Don't fall asleep on me. Okay, so we have a tree. Everybody knows what a tree looks like. Those are the roots. Here's the trunk. There's the canopy with all the stuff, the leaves, the branches up top. We are in some ways like a tree. Our feet are our root. Our torso is the trunk. Our arms are the branches and the canopy. So, everybody knows what yoga is? Anybody done yoga? Yep. If you've done yoga, you've also done Qigong because it's in the same family. So yoga means unite. Unite what? Your mind and your body and your spirit. There's 3 levels of all these things too, the mind, body, and spirit level. So yoga has been around since about 3300 to 1500 BC. Yoga, postures and exercises, twisting, right? Also breathing control. Thought management by slowing down your body, slowing down your breath. So we're going to call yoga and Qigong as being pretty much the same thing. When yoga came to the United States, it was this, ooh, let's do yoga, free spirit, peace thing. Qigong came around a couple years after. People are like, what the heck is that? It's the same stuff. It's just a different way of doing it. A lot of yoga postures are on the ground. You can sit on the ground, lay on the ground, twist on the ground. A lot of Qigong movements, it's sitting or standing or moving. But you can still twist around on the ground if you want to with it. So it's all just labels we've put on different types of exercises. Everybody knows what Pilates is? Yep. Jazzercise? HIIT? High intensity interval training? They're all different methods of how to achieve what people would consider fitness. But what stage of your life you're at is somewhat more important than just doing jazzercise or high-intensity aerobics. That's where yoga and Qigong come on. Okay, so Kung Fu came along about the 4th and 5th century AD. And that's where they took some of these movements from yoga and Qigong and said, hey, let's move them around and martialize them so that we can defend ourselves by doing these exercises to basically kill people and defend their family. So that was Kung Fu. Tai Chi came about the 12th century. So they took it to another step. And Tai Chi was martial arts for self-defense, but also fitness and for mental clarity. Along came the 16th century to the 19th century, and they came up with this stuff called Bagua. Bagua Cheng, Bagua Palm. Anybody ever hear of that? It's cool stuff. So Tai Chi is all about moving like waves. Okay, getting the body to move in circles and some spirals, but like a wave. Bagua is the eight-sided shape, and it's about moving your body in spirals and twisting and walking in a circular pattern, because walking is a very good form of exercise. All right? But imagine if you were walking with your weight a little bit lower. So now you're putting tension on the lower body and basically pressurizes your system to build up more internal strength. Does that make sense? Anybody know what internal strength is? External strength is you're going to go lift weights. You're going to go run. Internal strength is when your son drops a brick on your foot and they go, hey, Daddy, how you doing? And you're like, oh my gosh, you take all that strength inside of your body and you don't scream, you go, I'm doing wonderful. How are you? Internal strength, that's what these martial arts exercises do. Okay, so that's the tree. of where the yoga, qigong, and Tai Chi came about. Why is it important that I explain this to you? Because I got to fill the hour, right? No, the hour is going to go very quickly. Why is it important? Because it gives you a reference point for the test of time. If these exercises have been around for hundreds of years and people are still doing them, there's something there. Hundreds of years, if not thousands of years for some of the exercises. How long has jazzercise been around? Jazzercise forever? Jazzercise. How long have people been doing jazzercise? How about Pilates? Does anybody know how long Pilates has been around? Pilates was, I think, either World War I or World War II. A German soldier got injured, and he was in a hospital, and he was frustrated that he couldn't exercise in the hospital room. So he started looking around and seeing the bed frames and posts and things in the room, and he started doing push-ups and pull-ups, and he adapted the room to be able to exercise. So that's only the last 100 years. This has been around for hundreds, some thousands of years for the exercise. So it's proven the test of time. So again, when someone tells you, oh, this is new, it's not new. It's new to our culture. It's been around for a very long time. So with this in mind, you want to try some of this stuff so you kind of get a feel for what it is. Because I can talk about it, but until you actually try it, you're not going to get the gist of it. So I'm going to put this down once we start trying these exercises. But what we're going to do, if you want to do it, you probably need to move either up to the front here or somewhere where you have a little bit of room. Because we want to be courteous of our people next to us. You want to stick your hand in someone's face. So let's try a couple things. We'll do it, and then we'll come back. I'll talk some more, and we'll go from there. All right? So if you want to do something, we need to have a little bit of space, at least as wide as if you put your elbows out like this. Now I got you moving. You're standing up. Good job. So there's this saying. A lot of the theory behind Tai Chi is from traditional Chinese medicine. And there's this saying that death starts in the big toe. Death starts in the big toe, down there. It doesn't start in your heart. People have heart issues, right? No, the issue started down here because you didn't move your feet to make your heart healthier. So as we get older, we have a harder time getting circulation to the toes and to the fingers because they're the farthest from the heart. So we need to work our big toe. So how do we do that? We're going to stand with our feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to try to come up on the ball of your foot. Flex the ball of your foot. If you need help standing next to a chair or table to work on your balance, that's wonderful. Do what you need to do, okay? So that flexing of the ball of our foot connects not just to the blood and the veins and the arteries, but to the acupressure meridians that flow throughout the body. So I want to be able to go from my big toe, little toe, to the ball of my foot, and then my big toe, little toe, to my heel. So if you do this on a regular basis, you're probably going to get better balance and better circulation down to your feet. All right, now I'm going to relax my arms. Let your arms, forget about your feet for a moment, let your arms float up to about shoulder height. Let your arms float down to about waist height. So when I come up, my arms are totally relaxed, just like I'm floating in a pool. When I come down, they're still relaxed, just enough tension on my shoulders to move the arms. When I come up, I'm going to tilt my chin slightly upward. When I come down, I tilt my chin slightly downward. What that does is wherever your chin goes, it dictates whether your back becomes arched or rounded. I want it to be both. I want to go from being arched to being rounded. And what that does is it makes your spine become more flexible from the movement, but it also gets the spinal fluid pumping up towards your brain. All kinds of cool stuff going on here, right? So you got the arms going, you arch your back. Arms come down, you round your back. If that's fine, we go back to the toes. Try to come up on the ball of your foot when your arms come up. Go flat when your arms go down. Chin goes up, arms go up, heels go up. Arch your back. Arms down, chin down, round your back. So that in itself is a very basic balance exercise. This is the first movement in most of the Tai Chi forms. Can you imagine doing this for 5 minutes? How about 10 minutes? Half hour? So usually when you do it in the set, you do it once at the beginning, you do it once at the end. But it's a very good movement to do just for working on your exercise, your balance. So if you can do all that, pull your toes up at the end just for a second or two. So look at my foot. I lift the heels, I go flat, I lift my toes, and then I go flat. So some of you are going to have better balance on one end or the other. Usually it's better balance on the ball of your foot. When you go back to the heel, most people don't do that often, so they don't have good balance there. So everybody doing good? Doing fantastic? So relax for a second. So I got you all standing. I don't want you to sit down yet if you don't have to. So that motion right there is like a pump. How many hearts do we have? We have 3 hearts. You have one physical heart that you can, go to the hospital, go through surgery, and they work on that heart. Let's not go there, right? That's the real heart. Your diaphragm. Can you hear me? I hate the microphone because I can't do stuff with my arms then. Just project a little louder.
That's perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so your second heart is your diaphragm, which is the muscle tissue below your lungs and above your stomach. So as you breathe in, your stomach's going to expand, pulling the diaphragm down. When you exhale, you squish your stomach back. Makes the diaphragm push the breath out more. So that is your second heart. Your third heart is what we just did down here. Okay, you ready to try some more stuff here? So this is cool. I like this stuff. I've been doing it forever. I love to share it. I love it when people smile back. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our feet together. And then we're going to make a big heart shape. We inhale. We push down. We exhale. It's like a big wave, right? Pushing down towards the ground as we do it. I'm going to sink it into my hips. I'm going to shift my weight to the right leg. Draw a little half circle. Shift to the left. Shift to the right. Sink into the center. Everybody's good, right? We come up. Our arms float up. Our arms come down. They sink down. Toes up for a second, and then grab your toes into your shoes. Is anybody having balance issues right now? That means you just need to do this. The way you develop your balance is by losing your balance. The way you make your muscles stronger is by breaking the muscles down. It's how it works. The way you make your bones and muscles stronger as a unit is you need to put tension under them. Sitting on the couch will not make your balance better. Sitting on the couch will not make your bones get stronger. Moving them and making the body adjust is what makes that happen. All right? So that's the first exercise. Second exercise, I'm going to spin like I have a big beach ball in front of me. And then I'm going to throw a frisbee with my left hand. My other hand comes to my navel. All right? So we were just here. We floated up. We float down. Hopefully you can see the wave in the movement. Spin the ball. Throw the frisbee to the left. And look at your left hand. Easy enough, right? No. Who's having a hard time? Come back to the ball and spin it to the right. Throw the frisbee to the right. So what's happening here, your brain has to work, okay? There's no way of doing this without your brain having to do the work. Your body has to do the work. The only thing you can really get by with is you'll probably be breathing anyway. Hopefully, right? But we really want you to monitor and regulate deep breaths. So let's worry about the breathing last, okay? So if we start again, we're here, feet together. And this is just to get you in the ballpark. This isn't perfect. This is just getting us started, right? Do the heart-shaped breath. Inhale. As you exhale, feel this calm wave come over your body. Wonderful. Sink down into both hips. Lift your left foot slightly and make a half circle. Shift left. Shift right. Feel your center of gravity over the center of your hips. Arms float up. Chin goes up. Arms go down. Chin goes down. Toes up for a second and then grab into the ground. So right now you should feel a lot more stable with your body being centered over your navel, over your hips. So now I spin the beach ball to my left. What I'm going to do this time, I'm going to shift my weight from the right to the left leg as I throw that frisbee to the left and I look at it. And then I come back to the center, my hips are equal again. Then I spin the ball to the right this time, shift the weight to the right, throw the Frisbee to the right. Come back to the center, equal weight, roll the ball down the center of your body. That's like the first set, kind of like the alphabet, if you would, that gets you kind of introduced to doing the Tai Chi movements. So let's try it again. Feet together. You got it. You're down. You're doing great. So first thing, deep breath. Opens up the chest and the lungs. This helps slow down your thought process, makes you relax. Sink down. Make a half circle. If you can do it without looking at your toes, that's even better. If you got to look, then you dip your head. You try to keep your head straight up, and I can feel where my foot should be. So I do the shift left to right so I can feel where my center of gravity is at. Anybody know where your center of gravity is at? Why is that important? That's your balance point. If you got that 50-pound backpack up the top here and you go flying down the stairs because you got to be somewhere, you're pretty top heavy. There's a good chance you're going to fall and lose your balance, right? So center of gravity, if you find your navel, is about 3 of your fingers below your navel and then midway from the front to the back. The center of gravity is what we relax and sink down so we feel more stable. So say you were going to go hiking. Anybody go hiking? In the mountains, right? You go hiking. Try not to have a big backpack on your back up top. If anything, you keep something maybe around your waist if you need to, really. But when you do it, you sink down as you're doing your hiking. Because it feels like your center of gravity is lower, you feel like you have more balance, right? So we're going to do this set one more time, and then you're going to sit down and I'm going to talk some more. I'm going to wake up a few of you that are sleeping right now. Anybody sleeping? All right, so big heart-shaped breath. Inhale. In through your nose, out through your nose if you can. Sink down. Try not to look at your foot, but draw the half circle. Shift left, shift right. Lower your navel, your hips. Feel the center of gravity sink low. Arms float up, heels lift up. Arms go down, heels flat. Last part, pull your toes up and then grip into the shoes, into the ground. Spin the ball. Shift your weight, turn your waist, throw the Frisbee. So if you look down for a second, your shoulder should be over your hip, which is over your knee, which is over your ankle. I'll explain why that's important in a moment. Shift back to the center, spin the ball to the right, push your feet into your hips to shift, turn your torso, finish with your arms like you're throwing the Frisbee. Back to the center. Here's this ball in front of my face. I roll it down. I'm going to lock my knees and my elbows, and I'm going to squish my stomach back to push the breath out, making the diaphragm squish, and then relax. Everybody feel good? Yes. So, okay, grab a seat. Intermission time. No, just grab a seat. No intermission. So, a very strong benefit of Tai Chi and Qigong is having your body in the right alignment so as not to injure yourself. A lot of times we don't realize this when we're younger because the bones aren't fully developed. We can get away with walking and running and making things kind of off balance or out of alignment. When we get older, it catches up to us. The bones are fully formed, the muscles get tight. If you were to do what we just did and you pointed your knees in like this, or point them out like that, or bend them far in front, you're probably going to start feeling some strain in your knee joint. That's just your knees. What about your ankles, your back, your shoulder? So when I said, I'm sorry? Oh, microphone. I hate the microphone. Okay. I lose touch with my hands when I get the microphone. So when I said shift over to here to get this post, it's like I'm standing right up against the wall. My shoulder, my hip, my knee, my foot. Why is that so important? Like I said, injuries, right? Well, there's this energy flow in our body. It's called Qi. Qigong. Anybody know what Qi is? What's Qi? Wonderful. Is it the same thing as Chai? Chai is tea, Qi is energy. Okay, back to a marker. I'm going to go with blue this time because I like blue. So Qi, Q-I-C-H-G-I, Chinese, Americanized? Korean, or this is also sometimes like this. Doesn't matter, it's the same thing. It's Qi. Qi means breath or energy. So when we get Qi, you got to get a little history lesson here too. We get Qigong. Gong is work or effort or hard focus. There's not an exact translation. It's putting the effort into what you're doing. So Kung Fu, anybody know what Kung Fu means? What? It's hard work. Gong and Fu. So Gong, again, is the work. So Tai Chi means the supreme or grand ultimate. Very philosophical. Has to do with the energy you're trying to get in your body. Qigong, Qi is energy, Gong is hard work. Kung Fu is hard work, martial application of it. Okay, so anybody now know what Qi is? How do you get it working? How do you get it moving? Okay, there's 2 exercises that I'm showing you today, one I already did, that are probably the most important thing that you can do on a daily basis that don't take that much effort. This one, sitting in a chair, you could even do it, point your toes, pull your toes, point your toes, pull your toes. Standing up, I'm going to show you how to get your Qi moving. So, who wants to stand up? I do. Stand up, let's get your Qi moving. Got to have that arm's distance again with if you put your elbows up. So, the way we get our Qi moving for right now is getting our body moving. When we start doing the exercise sets, you can get it moving with your breath also. So I'm going to shake my hands like I got out of the pool and I forgot my towel. Shake your hands like you're shaking the water off your hands. So that's my wrist. Try to get your elbow to move. Very loose, very comfortable. By the way, if you have any surgery or neck issues or anything, you need to decide how much or how little you feel comfortable doing. So now I got my elbows moving, I'm going to get my shoulders moving. Again, if it feels good, do it. If it's painful, then don't. Then you just don't do this exercise. If you can do all that, let your heels come off the ground a little bit. So now I got my hands, my arms, my shoulders, my hips and knees bending slightly, landing lightly. Don't land hard. That's a different exercise. So stop and bring your hands into a bit of a circle. Some of you are going to see your hands look very red. Some of you are going to feel a little tingling in your hands. That's getting your Qi moving on a very basic level. Feels good, doesn't it? So, okay, you can sit down now. We'll do knuckle push-ups next, and then hand springs. So that's a way to get you to kind of see that it's there. You know when you fall asleep on your arm, and you stand up, and then your arm's pins and needles, and sometimes it's painful? That's the circulation flowing back in, right?